Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. It's about 4:30 on November 19th, 2013. Let me read this to you and we'll get right to it. www.sp500chart.com and this video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the side or in the video is intended to be used as investment advice. I control lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts, so let's do just that. And if you have been looking at the other videos that we've been doing, I think I don't even need to look at anything other than this 15-minute chart. And I want to show you a couple things that are interesting. First off, we've got our inverted head and shoulders back here. Just to recap, that did meet its minimum expected target almost exactly. I want you to look at where our target was. Target was right about 1802, and yesterday at the open we got our 1802. Then went sideways a bit, started to sell back down. Now here's what we talked about yesterday, and we'll talk about it again right now, and that is we've made this target, okay? But that's the minimum target. These patterns often produce more than just that minimum amount. Now once you've made the minimum, I think you've got to keep that in mind. I think you've got to factor that into everything else you might do, because you can't say anymore that I am expecting something more than 1802 from this pattern. But that doesn't mean it will not produce it. So that's why I have drawn our channel lines, our resistance line and our support line. Additionally, this line just so happens to go all the way back to our October low. But here it is today, which is where we need to be concerned about it. I want to show you that the last two times we got a tag on this lower line, it came after the S&P produced a descending wedge. Let me make those lines blue because that's the way I usually do my wedges. So here, back at the end of the 7th and the breakout at the very tail end of the day, or was it the beginning of the 8th? Doesn't matter. Wedge hit the bottom line, up we go. Wedge hit the bottom line, up we go. Breakout, and now what are we doing coming back down here? Well, it's not the same tight little wedge that we've seen the previous two times, but it looks like we're doing another wedge. Now remember, when you're trading an inverted head and shoulders pattern, there are three things to look for. The first thing is, and this is according to John McGee in the back of his book, Technical Analysis of Stock Trends, he says the first thing you do is you look for one of these three things. A pullback to the neckline. He says that's when you go long. Okay? Or a pullback to the line drawn from the bottom of the head through the bottom of the right shoulder. That's this line right here. Number 3 is a 40% retracement from the bottom of the right shoulder to the end of the breakout move. Our breakout move went all the way up to 1802, and now we're settling back, and look where we are settling back to, both this ascending support line and that what he called a 40% retracement, what this tool shows as the 38-point Fibonacci retracement. So I just think that's really interesting. And I think the thing to do here is to watch this line for a bounce, and also if we look at this on a 5-minute chart, also watch this little pattern that formed later today, and particularly this top line, to see if we get a breakout. Now I want to show you one more thing. I think this is the best place to draw this top line because we've got 3 touches on it that all add up just right. But somebody might say, well, maybe we're kind of doing this because now we've got 1, 2, 3. But to be safe, I would rather set the bar a little higher. So let's keep that there. Going into the day tomorrow, let's see if we get a breakout out of this little wedge shaped pattern. And if we get a breakout and then a pullback, we would also potentially end up with a little inverted head and shoulders, which we've seen gazillions of. But right now, let's just leave this on the chart as a wedge and see if tomorrow, if this plays out the way we've seen these things play out the previous 2 times we've hit this lower support line. Guys, that's your video for November 19th, 2013. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Especially, thank you for your support.